Now then, people, it's Joe, All Leeds TV, and it's that time again. It's your weekly series, if you will. It's Monday Night Football time. So I'm not going to discuss West Brom. You know, I'm going to go into it. We got battered, we got humbled. If you want to know more what I think, check my post-match video out and the rest of the teams. We have been inundated with comments this weekend, the most we've ever had. So thank you so much for getting involved, everyone. Obviously, I can't read them all out because, like I say, we've had tons, loads coming. So thank you so much for your continued support. We've even had comments coming from opposing teams, which is buzzing, which means our reach is getting bigger. So thank you so much for that, guys. What I want to do is just jump straight in, because like I say, we've got a lot to get through. So I'm going to begin with West Brom Fan TV. Conor did a little pre-match with him. I think it was Conor at West Brom TV as well, came out and said he think we'd win 3-1, 4-1. Turns out he was on the flip side. But basically he said, good luck for the season, lads. Great to vlog that game. I bet it was, mate, because you absolutely ran riot. Moving on, we've got Spen. He says, most of the goals we conceded could have easily been avoided. The first one, all Dallas has to do is stay in his position. Agreed, Dallas had a shocker. You could even say for the one, Harvey Barnes, I think it might have been their fourth when it came through. He was so far forward, you know, ready to attack. But sometimes you need to use a bit of your initiative, especially when especially as dangerous as West Brom was. He says the second click could pass the ball out, but instead faffs around with it. I take umbrage with that comment. Reason being is I said in my last video, there's going to be times when that's going to happen. We play that style of football. I love that style of football. The positives far outweigh the negatives. Yes, he could have got rid, but I think and I think Sky said the same, Phillips had just that good of a game. He managed to tackle him and get up and end up scoring a goal as well. So I don't agree with that comment. Yes, listen, there'll be times all season where we could have just hoofed it and got rid, and we'll lose possession and they might go on and score. That's just a byproduct of the football we play at times. The other two just rolled on after that. But the next month will prove the character of the squad, and we'll see if they're strong enough to come back from this, or if we fade away like last year. The next three are massive, aren't they? After the international break, we have Bristol City at home, Ipswich at home, and then we're away at Sheffield United. Three massive games, and for me, we've got to take a minimum of 7 points. I see us winning Bristol City and Ipswich, fingers crossed, at home, and then I'd take a point at Sheffield United in the current climate. But depending on how we perform in them first two games, then we'll assess it at that point. Andy Edwards from a West Brom fan, brilliant vlog, mate. Thank you very much. Like I say, I'm going through everyone's comments. This one's off my video. Thank you very much for that. Tiger Steel, regular commentator. Bit of, as we say, we love it when you guys have a little bit of a forum between yourselves. He says, Wolves got beat 4-1. Remember that. We need to win the next two games. Yeah, the next two are must win. And I think Connor's said a lot of it. Wolves, they're a much better side than us and what we were last year. We do draw comparisons to them. But we have to accept the fact that they were that little bit ahead of us if you compare the two teams. Thomas King goes on to say, Joe, let's be honest, Bielsa has transformed this team full of average championship players, but it still remains that the team is full of average championship players. You have to agree with him to an extent. We don't have the type. He goes on to say things like this happen when you don't have a Matt Phillips, Jay Rodriguez, Dwight Gale, Harvey Barnes to pull a goal from nothing. We need to play well as a team to win. We can't win based on individual performances because we don't possess that quality. I think you're right, mate. I think you could easily say Pablo, he's of that quality. Saiz of last season's at that quality. There's been a lot said about Saiz starting in the game, and I agree. I don't agree he should have started. You might disagree. I think Forshaw's done enough, and I think the way Bielsa puts faith in his players, he was never going to start that game based on Forshaw's last two performances. You guys might disagree. I know Conor thinks otherwise. He should have started, but I definitely think he should have been brought on at half time. So we do have one or two that have that individual quality, but you are right. We're more of a unit. And he says, results will continue to not go our way until we address the distinct lack of quality compared to some other championship clubs. Alioski, Harrison, Roberts, Dallas, Cooper, big question marks. And he goes on to say, also Bailey BPF needs to be out of that side. Yeah, I think Blackman deserves a go now. Will he get a go? I'm not so sure based on Bielsa's comments after the game. But I do think you're right. If we look at Alioski, Harrison, them two, for me, are not strong enough to be a starting 11 in a championship winning side. So and you could say that Harrison's Alioski's replacement. So either way, we definitely need a winger, and I think that's one position that we are looking at. If you believe the Gomez rumours, Roberts. Again, if Bamford's in the side, he's a third choice. So I still think Roberts is okay. Dallas is more of a utility player if Failing plays. He doesn't get in the side. Cooper, I like Cooper. You know, he's everyone's player that everyone loves to hate. I think Cooper can have mint games, can have bad games. I don't particularly think he had a terrible game. He wasn't at fault for the majority of the goals. I think Dallas was, to be fair, and also BPF. Shark Ram says we totally deserve that hiding, although we're still only a few points from top. Still, last 4 or 5 performances have been poor. Lucky that other teams have dropped points. We seriously lack power and pace all over the pitch. Not just a knee-jerk reaction. I think you're right, we do lack power and pace, and we need a Matt Phillips. I said in my post-match, he's the winger that we need. It says, we will never get out of this league with BPF, Dallas, Alioski in the starting 11. Yeah, I mean, again, Dallas, he was terrible, but is there a call for Louis Cole to come back in January? We can recall him in January. He's doing well at Fleetwood, has done for some time. I know Charlie Taylor did well there, came back and was a revelation. I would say that let's bring him back. Far too inconsistent, clueless, no creativity. I think the team thought this game was a given, hence the complacency within the team. This was yet again another puddle of piss performance. Unacceptable. We cannot play Forshaw instead of Saiz. When Forshaw plays, he takes away his Klitsch's attacking threat. Inconsistency and complacency is going to cost us in this season. Guaranteed. Quite a scathing assessment there by Shark Ram. I agree with quite a lot of his points. I just think, yeah, in hindsight, it's easy to say Saiz should have started. But let's be honest, Saiz prior to the Forest game hadn't been playing well at all. And I think he played in the under-23s when we got beat by Crewe, I think it was. And he didn't play well in that game either. So it's okay with hindsight to say Saiz. I'm not saying he shouldn't have played. I'm not saying he shouldn't have come on. He should have come on earlier for me. But I think if we win that game, we're not all screaming for Saiz to start. I think Forshaw's done well. I think against Bristol City though, Saiz should come back into the side. Jeezy H says, fair play to you, Joe. After the way the season has been going overall, there was no reason to not be positive on your pre-match predictions. Yeah, I mentioned this because I know a lot of people were digging me out. The regular Dr. Frost has come out and said anyone who thought we'd get 3 or 4 in that game seriously needs to take a look at his football knowledge. To you, Dr. Frost, I say fuck you. I think we've done well enough this season to warrant them kind of predictions, especially when West Brom got battered 4-1 by Derby and how we playing. Yes, it was 4 months ago. Yes, it was a while ago. But I genuinely thought going into that game, especially if they'd have played a back 3, that we could have run riot. It didn't happen. With hindsight, it's easy to call me out and say I don't know shit. But believe me, I do. I'm confident in my own ability, so fuck you. GZH says, of course you'll have the I told you so brigade spouting off now, but in hindsight, it's a wonderful thing. Exactly what I've just said. My only criticism is that Bailey could have kept us in it with a shout, but West Brom were very impressive today. Onwards and upwards, marching on together. Keep up the good work. Cheers, pal. Aaron Dickinson, been saying it for a while. We need better attacking players. We were outclassed, and hopefully it pushes Rads to pull out the cash in January. Wouldn't get too carried away though. I'm sure we'll bounce back. Yeah, agreed. And I said that in my post-match. I pleaded with everyone. Let's not get too carried away. Let's see what we're like after the international break. Because if we go and get 7 points out of a 9, then everything's rosy again, you know. We've got 2 home games coming up. You fancy us against Ipswich. Let's see what Bristol City's about, because you never know with that game. But and then we go into Sheffield United. We get 6 points and we go away at Sheffield United, and if we can get a result there, then it's all rosy again, isn't it, guys? I was talking to my mate last night, Sean, the lad who I go to the games with, season ticket holder, and we were chatting, and it's evident we need a lot in January, and we'll touch that. Me and the team will touch more on that closer to the time. But I can't see it going wild, and the reason is because Bielsa's happy with the squad, and I think he'll get a winger. But I don't know where else. I know where else I get cover for Phillips. We need cover at centre back now. But then again, you know, Aylin and Berardi's going to come back. So does he think that? You know, we've got Bamford coming back, so we don't need cover in attack. We've got Izzy Brown coming into the side, and Pablo's not coming out. So I look at the team and I think when they're having these conversations, where they're looking at, the only one for me they're realistically looking at is Alioski. Yous might disagree, but I just can't see it. I mean, Bielsa said all along he's happy with the centre-back partnerships. Douglas and Ayling, when fit, are class. We're not going to go for a keeper, it's just not happening. If I'm wrong, then fair enough, I end up with egg on my face, but we're not. We're not getting mid... I think they might look at cover for Phillips. But, you know, in the centre of the park there, you have Saiz, you have Crick, you have Forshaw, you have Phillips. I can't see them going there. The only way I can see them investing is to go for a replacement for Alioski. Maybe they thought Harrison would have been able to do more, but he's just not been at it. He hasn't played well since that Preston game, and I was surprised he came on the pitch, to be fair. Let me know, guys, what you guys think. Shane Thompson says, "Hi Joe, most of the teams in the Championship have had an arse whooping. This was our turn. We all need to stay positive. We can't win every game. We need to take it on the chin and move on. International break now. We will come back fresh and fight on. Thanks for the video, Joe. Marching on together. My guy." That's the kind of thought process I have, so thanks for that, Sean. Dr. Frost, moving on, like I say, he did give me 15. He did like a list, 15 points. I'm not reading them 15 points because a lot of it was garbage. But he does say, "Did anyone else notice how they bullied us solely physically out of the game? Is that a potential problem for our rather lightweight team, or just down to West Brom being very, very physical and or being able to individual quality to such physicality?" Yeah, I don't think it's a major problem. I think when we're on our game, if you look at the early parts of the season, we just tick-a-tack it. It was lovely to watch. Yes, our performances haven't been great of late, but I just think West Brom were a cut above on that day. Even some West Brom fans have said so in the comments, and I'll get to them later on. He says he's a bit concerned for when circumstances allow such physicality to dominate, even without the quality players. Cold, wet, winter afternoons. But enough said from my side. Won't comment every vlog anyway. That is the biggest pile of shit I've ever heard. You comment all the time, Dr. Frost, about 14 times over a weekend. So don't lie, my friend. We have a love-to-hate relationship, me and you. Gary Keefe says, "Dr. Frost, totally noticed how we were bullied off any 50-50 ball. We need David Batty's in the team without giving away the fouls." I would love a David Batty in this team. John Doe, another one who likes to be negative, says, "Absolutely pathetic performance. Bielsa's tactics were shit yet again, but we don't need any new players in January." I think that's what he's referencing, what MB must have said. So he says, "BPF is absolutely shit, as are Dallas and Alioski. The players should be ashamed of themselves tonight. We could have had Barnes this season, but once again, we were shopping in the bargain basement during the transfer window." That's a load of tosh. Barnes is on loan, possibly could get recalled. He did when he was at Barnsley by Leicester. Based on his current performance, he could get recalled. Also, you know, we were close to getting Barnes. He'd basically picked his shirt number. So what happened there? I don't think it was down to money. I mean, we went and spent $7 million on Bamford. So we're not shopping in no bargain basement, mate. So that's a load of tosh. It's easy to get angry, it's easy to get annoyed, but you can't say we're shopping in bargain basement for me, and we won't be in January provided we go for the right players. Dr. Frost agrees. Surprised? Not. So he says, "John, agree on Alioski, BPF and Dallas, although I have least understand why Alioski is playing regularly. Dallas is doing... See, for Alioski playing regularly, who else can play there? Yes, Jack Clark. We must play Jack Clark. Jack Clark's the type of winger that we're missing. But he's being treated with kiddie gloves. It's unrealistic for us to think that he's going to start every game. It's not going to happen. He's not started a game yet. So, take Jack Clark out of the situation. Who else plays left wing? Because Harrison, not good enough. Alioski is the only option at this moment in time. If we had a valid replacement, again, take Jack Clark out of the situation because it ain't happening. There is no one else who's going to play that role, you know, consistently well, because he does do all right in games. In January, if we buy a replacement and Alioski's still playing, then fair enough, we can say this sort of stuff. He says, "Dallas is doing his best in a position he isn't good enough for." Yeah, agreed. I thought he'd played really well against Wigan, but against a better side he got found out. He says, "BPF's form has been going downhill lately, and that was obvious today. He must be replaced by Blackman. If Bielsa doesn't, I would find it hard to understand. And then he says, as I find it hard to understand genuinely why he only changes things when he has no other options. And then Tiger Steel, another regular, says, hi mate, this is to Dr. Frost. I just can't see Bielsa changing the goalkeeper position as he hasn't dropped Alioski and put Jack Clark in. Saeeds needs to start even though Forshaw is the only player in my eyes who did okay. Shackleton has to be at right back. Yeah, I mean, the fact he's not played Shackleton at right back, it seemed that cup game, the game against Swansea was just a test. He's not played him there since. Dallas hasn't played well enough and he's still not played him there, so I think that's something that we have to move on from now. I'd love to see him at right back, but for me, get to January, bring Coyle back. Dean Murphy, so this is another Baggies fan, so thank you. He says, nice vlog from a Baggies fan. We was ruthless tonight and played you boys off the park, but I think you'll at least make the playoffs. So thanks for that, pal. Thomas King says, we were also very off the pace, which we were. Finn Reynolds, awful night at the office for us, but that sums up the nature of the beast. That is the championship. Anybody can beat anyone on any given day. Agreed, look at QPR, they got battered 7-1. I wasn't overly concerned about having Dallas as fullback, but tonight has really shown that he can't play in that position. Agreed. He didn't play well against Forest. He then went to Wigan and he had a top performance, most touches, most passes, all that sort of stuff. But against a better quality opposition, he got found out. He's not a right back, and I said that before the Forest game, and I stand by that now. He is not a fullback. Alioski also needs to be dropped. Don't care what that he works hard, because he's supposed to be in the team to create chances and score goals, not just be a workhorse. I think we really need a Matt Phillips type of winger in January, and also think we should recall Louis Coyle and bring in cover for Phillips. That's probably perfect, mate. Fair comment, Finn, because that's what will happen, I think. Maybe not recall Louis, I hope, but I just can't. We'll find out, won't we? We'll find out. He says, as well as Bamford, Brown, Ayling and Berardi all coming back in the new year, we should be on course for the final push of the season. Sorry the comments long-winded, but had a lot that needed to be said. Really love the channel, keep up the good work. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds. Finn, man, write what you want. That was lovely, mate. I agree with you completely. Tarquin Midwinter, nice posh name for us there. He says, never mind, mate, you're still third, so above the Baggies. This is the championship and no one has the consistency to run away with it. The leaders changed hands several times already and will continue to do so. A team will have a good run, go top, then fade like the Baggies have done over the past month. Look at what Derby did to us at the Hawthorns. You were just unlucky to catch us on a good, bad day, depending on how you look at it. You were on fire that day, Tarquin, to be fair. Rob Marriott says, good video. Bartley being out had no effect on our change to back four, because I did say maybe Bartley being out is why they went to a back four. He goes on to say, Darren Moore realised about 10 games after our fans did that 3-5-2 simply wasn't working as we had square pegs in round holes. Leeds were very good, but reminded me of an Arsenal from 10 years ago, tapping it around the 18-yard box with no end product. You'll be top 6 though with us if you can find some end product. I think that's the bit we're missing at the moment, to be fair. It is... it's that killer pass, that final ball to Roof to get the goal. We're mint leading up to it, tippy-tappy around the area. It's just that killer pass that we're missing at this moment in time. Jonathan Stanhope, pace, power and the confidence, almost arrogance to soak up our pressure and possession, knowing that eventually we would give it away and they would punish us. Agreed, that's all they did. They let Cooper and Janssen have it, wait for that ball and then bam, spring the attack, and they were brutal at it. And he goes on to say they were brutal, back to front very quickly, almost impossible to defend against. West Brom play like that, they will romp this league, totally agree. Hate to say it, but West Brom and Villa will make top 2 and we will fight out for the playoffs. I'm not too sure on Villa making top 2. Probably Borough will shithouse the way to it. He said, I would have died for this at the start of the season, but recently believe we could actually go up automatically. Cold of light of reality hit me today, I'm afraid. Agreed. I thought we were nailed on a little bit, and you have to look at it now and maybe assess it. Say, right, okay, top 6. We'll definitely get top 6. Top 2 is still a possibility, but we need to see how we react after the international break now. Jonathan Stanhope says, dislike this all you want. We never laid a glove on them. It was like a middleweight up against a heavyweight. I just hope that when we play them again, we have options to mix it up with Bamford and Izzy Brown. We never put a dent in them tonight. No one's disliked it, mate, to be fair. A lot agree with your comment, and I do to a certain extent. Stuart Kundal says, Saiz has to start, BPF has to be dropped, and we need a proper striker. Roof is not a striker. I don't agree with that comment, mate. It's the best position for him on that pitch, and his goals so far have said that. Yes, he was quiet, but it's because West Brom was so good. He says, get Edmondson up top. Best we have with Bamford out injured. Keep up the good work and still got to be over the moon with third. Edmondson's not the best we have with Roof fit, mate. Not a chance. Andrew O'Connor, fair in what you said, Joe. I think the next 2 to 3 games after the international break will be significant too. Agreed. Doma, this is moving on to Connor's video. He says, agree with everything you said, mate. Saiz needs to start again. Harrison should not be anywhere near the side. He's been poor for 98% of the time he's on the pitch. Yeah, take out Preston, he has been pretty poor. He scored at Millwall though as well. But yeah, someone agreeing with Conor. That's got to be a first, hasn't it, mate? You're normally just full of shit. I'm only joking, man. He knows his stuff, just Conor. If you haven't watched his video, give it a watch. And if you haven't already, make sure you have a look at Friday Night Football. Because, as I say, it's the same format as this, and it's great, man. Another comment, and it says, so this is props to Conor, so fair play, because he does do a lot of this and takes the time to analyse the opponents and that. Both him and Oscar do, to be fair. I'm more of a off the cuff kind of guy, but basically Goat Rev says your analysis, this is mint actually, mint comment. So Conor, soak it up, mate, because I'm praising you. He says your analysis of both teams and researching Albion's tactical changes for this match was thorough and refreshingly unbiased. I was at the game, and as an Albion fan, I found it interesting how you looked at the way both teams were set up. Your review certainly betters any match report I have read online. That is top notch. Well done, Conor. He says thanks for that. And then another, George, West Brom, says exactly what I was thinking. Great report. So props to you, Conor, man. Well done. And thanks for them West Brom fans getting involved as well. We've had a lot of that, and it's great to see. Like I said, it means the channel's growing, that other opposing fans are getting involved. We'll be getting a championship roundup coming. Don't worry, we're working on it. We're just looking for that guy. He's going to do it though, because he is the guy. We're just trying to coerce him at this moment in time. But sort your shit out, Jack. Declan Gray says, great review. One thing you don't mention is Jack Clark. Surely he's worth a run in the side. Very direct, pacey, with a fierce shot. Everything that defenders hate. Surely much better option than Alioski, who is providing very little offensively. Totally agree, Declan. We need him in. Just don't think he's going to start, unfortunately. I mean, he weren't even in the squad, was he? And we were crying out for him as an outlet. If you look at the change that was made, bringing off Douglas, which was crazy, should have brought off Alioski, but if you bring off Douglas and bring on Harrison, imagine bringing on Jack Clark, offers so much more than Jack Harrison. And for me, if we buy a winger in January, I'd send Jack Harrison back. Also, Dilip Kedner says, we got taught another lesson for games in Championship. Yeah, tough, even the out-of-form team can bounce back. I think that was a big thing for me, they were so out of form, but Leeds being Leeds, they just turned it on. He says we need to make sure we are in the top 6 at the halfway stage, and then in January bring in the right players to strengthen the team and hopefully win promotion. It's coming around, isn't it? It's getting exciting, boys. It's getting exciting. It's that time of year. I can't wait to be back at Ellen Road on the 24th, and let's see what the next 3 games give. Defcon 22, another regular. Cheers, bro. He says whichever way you look at it, we were second best. Our possession stats are frustrating because that final part of the skewer that puts the ball away doesn't work. Agreed. Physically, our players looked out-muscled at times, but what worries me, have we really got enough guns to go the distance, or will we fade away? I reckon between now and New Year Day will define our season. Agreed, mate. I think the next 3 games that we have upcoming, as I've said to you, are massive, and we need to take minimum 7. 6 points from the 2 home games, then going to Sheffield United. If we get 9, imagine we get 9, man. Come on. Let's hope that. But we have to take maximum points at home now. We need to turn that around. John Doe, he says, Bielsa's far too stubborn and our results are now starting to suffer because of it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again but expecting a different result. For example, playing BPF and Dallas every week even though they're absolutely shit. There's no other options to play. Maybe Robbie Gotts could have played. I think, was it Leif Davis from the under-23s was in the squad. I thought he got run out, but no. But who else can play there if you don't have Coyle and that? I get what you're saying though. And BPF has looked pretty shaky for a couple of weeks. I said it in a video after we'd won. It was against Wigan, and people hammered me for it. But I said he hadn't been properly tested. He got tested against West Brom, and he was poor. He could have done better with the first, and the second was a shocker. Ethan Watt says, can I just say your videos are my favourite to watch out of the 3. No disrespect to others. Keep it up, everyone. Marching on together. That's to Conor. Ethan, what are you talking about, man? I'm the best. No, I'm joking, man. No, fair play, Ethan. If Conor's your man, Conor's your man. GZH says, long-term listener. Cheers, pal. Says, love the reviews from yourself and others at All Leeds TV. Few things I took from the game. 1, not a Bailey Peacock Farrell hater, but the first 2 goals were poor. Agreed. 2, the Dallas experiment has to stop. Shame we don't have Coyle available. Agreed. Perfect. 3, West Brom, not more solid team as a unit, but they do have some quality players who all performed on the day. 4, agree with you, Saeed should have started. Need to bounce back. Hashtag keep the faith, marching on together. Lovely comment, Cheesy. Darren Walker, a loss to a poor ex-Premier League side. They may be contenders in this league, but let's not get too critical. West Brom look good because we had one of the worst games all season. Nothing clicked. Leeds are still the best team in this league and they will show it. Come on! That's my kind of guy, Darren. My kind of guy. Door on Tour on Oscar's video says, even if you lost, pal, your videos are still cool from a Forest fan. So again, thanks other teams getting involved. We'll be getting that championship roundup out for you very soon on a Sunday, and then we can have even more Warriors involved, man. That's what we need. The one thing that isn't cool is Oscar's goatee. Sort that shit out. But yeah, that's it, guys, man. That was a pleasure. Honestly, I love doing that because today or over the weekend we've had so many comments and so many varied opinions, man. Thanks so much for your support. I'm so passionate about this channel, so passionate about Leeds, and I hope that's conveyed. I hope that comes across, and I love your comments so much. You know, Wednesday we're going to be getting an All Leeds TV Investigates out. Friday will be Friday Night Football. Conor is going to reply to your comments on this video on Oscar's All Leeds TV Investigates. Sunday we're going to be doing a Skype call. So what we're not putting it out on the Sunday. What I'm going to do is put it out on the Monday in place of Monday Night Football, because we don't have no comments to go on after the game, because obviously there is no game. It is the international break. So what I want you to do is put in some things that you want to discuss. Me and the guys on the Sunday when we put it together are going to review the season since the last international break. And then we're going to dive into your comments. So make sure you put some nice comments in there. Some nice paragraph, really something we can get his teeth into, and we'll go through them, and that'll be released next Monday. I think Conor as well is going to be doing a video on Saturday, actually covering our goals so far this season, pros, cons, all that sort of jazz. And it won't be long before, you know, before we're back and we're back at Ellen Road. But keep tuned in, guys. We're still going to give you plenty of content during the international break. Forget about England, man, the shite. But yeah, nah, I love them really, but only when we're playing in major tournaments. Can't be dealing with it. But yeah, thanks so much for your support, guys. It's been immense. It makes us feel so good, man. And I'll see yous all soon. Marching on together. All Leeds away. Love yous all, man. Boom. Leeds, Leeds, Leeds.